What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Narakius over here at Narakius Gaming, and today I got a new special division video for you guys. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get right into it. Now, I know I said I wasn't gonna make this video for you guys, but you know what? I love you guys so much. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and make it. I'm basically gonna go ahead and cover the game changes. I have not covered that part in the new 1.3 patch notes, and actually I was reading over it and it had some very good information that I think you guys are gonna like. So we're just gonna go through it together, and I'm gonna try to shorten up the video as much as I can. All right, now first on the list, they go to saying that they added a new dark zone bracket that we all expected was going to happen. Now it goes to 231 plus gear score. Okay, as you already know, the gear score in the game has been risen with also new high 229 to 268 weapon drops. All right, also number 2 on the list is that the player stats has been increased to 70 tool slots, including base of operation upgrades. So that is extremely dope. It looks like they did give us the 70 plus slots that we needed so we can have more stashes for our loot. And they said that there's something with the base operation. Look like we're gonna need to upgrade the base operation, so we're gonna be back in the PvE world and doing some more missions, which I love that about that. It gives you more to do into the game. All right, now going on next on the list, it goes on to say level 30 players would now only encounter level 30 or higher enemy NPCs in free roam, which is pretty good because it wouldn't make sense if I'm a level 30, you know, and I gotta deal with like harder enemies than the level that I'm originally at. So it makes more sense to my opinion. Now this next one on the list, I'm not too sure about it. Maybe somebody in the comments can actually let me know what do they mean by this exactly. But it goes on to say rebalance NPCs weak points to be more consistent across the board. This impacts the amount of damage needed to trigger them and the amount of damage it does when triggered. I don't too much know exactly what they mean about that. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments and actually, you know, teach me a few things or whatnot. All right, next on the list is something that I think we all been waiting for. I know I've been waiting for this, and I know you guys been waiting for this, and this is just incredible. All right, you can now convert 3 high-end division techs to one of any high-end crafting materials that you will need. That is extremely good, and it kind of helps out the purpose because they took away the blue crafting material, or well, the blue crafting high-end, so it made it hard, and I needed a lot of electronics, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who is suffering on electronic parts. So this is actually pretty good. Now I can actually, with all the gold high-end they're giving us in the dark zone, I can actually get those and I can craft it into the materials that I would need to make whatever I need to make. So this kind of ends the loophole in that situation. So I'm truly loving that. That is such a big game changer right there. And they go on else to say that they also have reduced the Phoenix credit cost of 204 high end and also the 240 gear sets, items, and blueprints. In which I was saying that because there was a little pricey. It was like 800, sometime around 845, 950 for 204s and, you know, the 240 gear set blueprints. And I was like, those are extremely kind of high, you know, with all the new stuff coming into the game. So I'm glad they did change that. And then it goes on to say about the special gear vendor, which I covered that in my last video, which will be in the description below. But it says the special equipment vendor in the tech wing only sells items now and will no longer sell blueprints. Blueprints have been moved to a new vendor in the terminal. So that is pretty good. So it looked like that vendor upstairs in your tech wing that we would go to every time they would have a restock on Friday to see what's new would no longer be selling blueprints anymore. So look like we got 2 different vendors, and look like they're trying to expand the base operation to make it more useful because it is big and it does have a lot of space, and I've been saying that it needs to be more expanded and more used. So that's pretty good. Now it looks like when you're in the dark zone and you get that special drop weapon and you would equip it, there'll be at times where you can actually share it with another group member. Well, they have taken that out of the game completely. Now if you equipped any weapon that you get from the dark zone or any sorts of drop, once you equip it, you're no longer able to share it with anybody in your group that is your weapon, and the person who needed it is asked out. All right, so if you equip the gear set or anything like that, guess what? You won't be able to get it if you're trying to share it with somebody. So you might want to just look at it, do not equip it, and kind of send him a screenshot or just drop it on the floor, let him look at it and tell him not to equip it, so that way he don't get stuck with it unless it's something that you really want. All right, to try to avoid that situation. Now this next thing on the list is something that is also a major key to the dark zone, and it really was annoying. It was hell of annoying. And basically what it is when you would run by ads and then you would try to exit out of the dark zone, it will let you and still have you in combat even if you're like a whole block away. And that was so annoying. So you would have to run back and go find that one ad that you didn't kill just to walk out the door, or you would have to leave the group just to walk out the door. Well, now they have it to the point they have adjusted that. All right, it goes on to say adjustments has been made to the NPC threats list that cause players to stay in combat for long periods of time. If you will now leave combat after reaching a certain distance away from the enemies or after a certain amount of time. So that's pretty good. I really like that. So that way, if I'm just want to get out of dark zone and in quick in a hurry, I do not have to worry about killing every NPC's in sight or go on a hunt down that one little straggler who got away. Now I can just sit in the corner, or I can just run as far as I can, and I'm out of combat and I could go out the door with no problem. So that is a major key to the dark zone, and that's a big change. You can also now do matchmaking as long as you are not in a respawn area of the mission or in game. All right, so that's pretty cool about that. And also you can actually fast travel to activities while the group is in a no respawn area. So that's pretty good. You can actually fast travel to the group that you're playing with as long as they're not in a respawn area. And if you don't have enough players, as long as you haven't started the mission and got and reach into a respawn area, you can actually do a matchmaking right then and there. You do not have to go in the beginning of the mission to do that part anymore. So that's pretty helpful to certain missions like Clear Sky and then some of the incursions that, you know, we're yet to face. This one next on the list is actually pretty funny because I myself have done this before and it's a dick move, so I do kind of feel bad about it, but it looked like you guys don't have to worry about this anymore. And I knew there was a lot of people complaining about this. Basically what it goes on to say is that you can no longer kick a group member in a boss fight and up to 1 minute after it has been completed. This restriction does not apply to group members who are AFK outside of the mission area. So basically, if you're doing a group and you're doing a boss fight with the group, you cannot kick that random guy out of the group that you use just so you can actually do like an incursion a second time of the, you know, just to get more gear. And there was a lot of people doing that dick move early on in the division where they would join somebody's group and it would say, hey, make me group leader real quick, I gotta do something. And then the guy would be like, okay, cool, make him group leader, and he would kick the guy who invited us to do the incursion with. And that was such a dick move, yo. Well, you guys don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, yet again, there's something else on the game changes list that I did not understand because maybe I just didn't do the Clear Sky that much, or maybe I missed it. It goes on to say NPCs located in the final circle in Clear Sky will instantly respawn once killed until players enter the area. I don't really understand and do not know what they're talking about that situation, so you guys make sure you leave that in the comments below and catch me up on something that I've missed. Next on the list, it says players can no longer deploy mobile cover skill while they are performing a cover to cover move. And last on the list is the major key, but it's actually pretty dope, and I guess it kind of makes sense to have a cap level. And exactly is the exotic damage resilience is now capped at 90%, which is enough. I mean, I was walking around with 75% exotic damage resilience, and that's well enough. All right, so 90%, it's more than enough than what you need. You will not have to worry about any of those flamers. You probably won't even feel it at 90% because I have 75% and it barely really does any damage. All right, so there you guys have it. That is the entire list of the game changes that have come to the 1.3. all right, I know you guys are excited. The 1.3 will be released tomorrow. Do not know exactly what time. Unfortunately, I won't be playing it because I'm on PS4 and we've been delayed, and I have to wait until August 2nd to get everything else. But everybody else who will be playing it, as far as you Xbox One players and all you PC players, trust me, I will be looking out for you guys on YouTube, and I hope you guys have a good time on it. And hit me up, let me know what's going on. All right, and I'm gonna be giving you more information as it comes out. All right, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed this. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and it's your boy The Rockets, and I'm gone. Peace.